Hi, welcome to Photo Focus. My name is Tom Shue. Today we're going to be doing another Lightroom tutorial, and in this tutorial I'm going to teach you how to do color correction for mixed lighting situations inside Lightroom. In Lightroom 4 they've got some specific tools to do targeted adjustment for temperature. However, in previous versions we had to do things a little different. So I'll show you what we used to do in older versions. So we're going to look at this image, and as you can see that what I've done here is I've used a flash with a blue gel and made a custom white balance and shot this target. So the target itself, the colors are correct. However, if you notice in the back that these fluorescent lights that are inside the parking area, as well as the daylight outside, which was setting sun, it doesn't really match. Actually, this was dusk. The camera's overexposed it just a hair, but we're more interested in the color, not the exposure. So in previous versions of Lightroom we didn't have the ability to do selective adjustments for temperature. What we would do is we would go down to the HSL slider in the develop module. We'll click the D key and go into the develop module, and if you come down here to HSL, stands for hue, saturation, and luminance, we would make a targeted color adjustment to the image to try to match our lights, which in this case mixed lighting would be this gelled blue flash to this fluorescent light that is inside of the parking garage, and then we try to finally blend in the daylight. So we'll go ahead and select saturation, okay, and if we grab this box here, it'll let us drag in the particular area we want to adjust color. So in this case we're gonna grab this orange wall back here, orange yellow wall, and we're going to drag down, and you'll see that that'll start taking that orange color cast away from the wall. Now that pretty well matches what's going on in our target. So this is the way we would do it in the past. And say if we wanted to increase the saturation on the daylight lighting back here, we go back in this area and we'd increase it, okay? And if you increase it too much or decrease it too much, you can affect what's happening on your main target where your main light is. So you kind of had to live with a happy balance. So that works okay. However, there's a way to get more accurate than before. So I'm going to bring you to an extreme case, which is I have a couple here that was just looking around inside Bellagio near the atrium area. And in this scene we used that same flash with the blue gel on it, and in the background we have sunlight here, and in this area was all lit by interior lighting, which was more tungsten, okay? So when I did a custom white balance with that blue gel, it really threw things out of whack, and I did this on purpose just so we can correct it. So what we're going to do in this case, we're going to go into the adjustment brush, and we're going to select one of the drop down menus called temperature, okay? In temperature, what it's going to let us do is make a selective adjustment, a targeted adjustment in temperature or white balance to help correct for that mixed light. So what I'll do is I'll just bring the exposure up, to a point where I can see what I'm doing with my brush, and I'll just do a quick rough adjustment. Remember, this is just for a tutorial, and I'd be a lot more careful if I was doing this for an image that I want to keep or present for a client. Okay, so we'll go in here and we'll just rough in this area here. We're just making a selection. This is all we're doing here, okay? And if you hold down the Alt key, you'll bring up the eraser tool, and we'll just go over our edges of our subject here, this man, okay? And I'll bring this brush up and make it a little bit bigger, and then I'll do the same thing with her. Holding down the Alt key, I'll erase the adjustment brush where I did the exposure. Let's get the tip of her nose, okay? And I know this isn't going to be perfect, but it'll give you a good idea. So we'll double click on exposure and we'll bring that back to where it was before, and now we'll come up into the temperature slider and watch what happens. Based on our selection, we're going to adjust the color or the temperature of just that selected area, okay? Now you can see that in the background it looks more like sunlight or daylight, and this more appears to be like the ambient lighting created by the interior lights at Bellagio. I'll warm it up just a little bit here. Now the reason why I had to cool it off so much is because I did use a blue gel which is a tungsten correction gel, and I really underexposed the color. So maybe we'll increase the contrast a little bit and maybe bump up the exposure just a little bit. But as you can see, the difference between the correction and the uncorrected image is night and day. Well, thanks for watching today, and we'll see you next time.